ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a contest to decide who was the greater monster. That's not why we're here. We're here to decide. And the judge is going to tell you, by the way, that you can't consider whether someone else has been convicted. You don't know what's happening with Candace Diaz. And this is Brad Field's trial to decide not if he's a better monster, but whether he participated, aided and abetted, conspired in the child abuse and the torture that led to the death of Gabby Barrett. Whether he helped, assisted, aided, encouraged, and created a high risk of death or great bodily harm, knowing that death or great bodily harm would be the likely result of his actions. Did he assist in creating that risk? Did he assist in the child abuse? And did he assist in the torture? Or did he do it all himself? It does not matter. Who is a greater monster? These were people from the beginning who were in it together, and he would send her videos. Look what your horrible daughter is doing. She wants to go to the bathroom. She keeps trying to pee. And Gabby's in there begging her body not to pee. She spent her days, and they would send the videos in that room. Good thing, he says, the bed is gone because she was going to have another week on the floor. I don't think she had another week at that point. She was going to be dead. We know. He abused her. I shanked her. Another cold bath. They were both monsters. They aided and abetted each other. And you know what? If he said to her every day, you come home and abuse your daughter because this is what she did, that's encouraging. That is aiding and abetting. And that is at least in part what he did. Now, he was struggling. Parents struggle. Your parents struggled. Those of you who had kids will struggle. That is the most pathetic, most ridiculous excuse I'd ever heard for comprehensive abuse and torture. He was struggling. It's insulting. The struggle was all Gabby's. The pain was all hers. It's difficult because the evidence is clear. It's difficult to come up with an argument, but a parental struggling is an insult to a child who you were murdering. This defense, one monster is better than the other, is an insult to Gabby. We had two monsters taking turns and together abusing her and torturing her. And that is what happened in that home. And he was there. He said she was up all night. He was part of what was going on that night. He said she was down for a half an hour. Like, you know, oh yeah, the kid hasn't breathed in a half an hour. As nonchalant as can be. He was part of it. There was no way he wasn't participating as this child struggled and was up all night and had those horrifying, painful burns. He created his hatred, his encouragement of abuse, created the high risk of death or great bodily harm. It does not matter who delivered that final assault. They together created the high risk of death. They together tortured and abused Gabby right to death. And the one thing in aiding and abetting, because that is the key, just as Mr. Robert told you, is it doesn't matter. You don't all have to say, well, it was murder during a torture. You don't all have to say it was murder during child abuse. All you have to decide, all of you, is that it was one or the other. There's no requirement that you all agree on torture or child abuse, only that you all agree that the creation of the high risk of death or great bodily harm occurred during one of those crimes. And the evidence, ladies and gentlemen, is very clear that he was involved in both the child abuse and the torture, the ongoing torture that led to that child dead on a floor on New Year's Day, 2018. He says, I'm going to shank her. He says, I'm going to urinate on her head. He says, I did shank her. He says, I gave her the cold bath, the Addies, and all the rest. I don't even know how you can not see that they were both participants in that child abuse and that torture.
7 minutes.
I'm only asking for a verdict based on the evidence. You have all the evidence. You have her little body and all those wounds all over. And Dr. Jensen explained his opinion. He just didn't say, oh, it was inflicted, and I know because I'm the doctor. He explained the reasons. Protected parts of her body. The burns were symmetrical. That doesn't happen unless you're dunked and held. He explained his reasons for his opinions. Her body told you what happened to her. I am again asking you to return the only verdict consistent with justice, the only verdict consistent with common sense, the only possible correct verdict based on the evidence. I'm asking you to find him guilty of child abuse, torture, conspiracy, and felony murder. I'm asking you to find him guilty because he is an abuser, he is a torturer, and he is a murderer. And the evidence has proven it beyond all reasonable doubt. Thank you.